Ignore those subtle aches in your thighs or the alarming tremble in your knees for just 5 minutes, and you could be hurtling toward a devastating fall, one so catastrophic it could land you in the hospital for months or even chain you permanently to a walker. Think it's just a harmless muscle twitch. Think again. When your legs weaken, you're not merely sacrificing speed or agility. You're handing over your independence, self-confidence, and entire lifestyle to fate. Imagine a single misstep spiraling out of control, broken bones, expensive rehabilitation, and a haunting, lifelong fear of venturing far from your doorstep. But here's the truly terrifying part. Weakening legs might be your body's sinister warning that something even more catastrophic lurks beneath. We're talking hidden blood pressure, nightmares waiting to trigger a sudden cardiac emergency, or silent circulatory killers, setting the stage for devastating vascular disasters. Look closely at your own circle. How many of your family members or friends are already suffering because their legs betrayed them without warning? One moment, they're perfectly capable driving to the store carefree. The next, they're trapped with canes or wheelchairs, victims of muscle decay that went unnoticed for far too long. This isn't just a warning, it's a shocking revelation of the hidden muscle deterioration, silently eroding your strength and stability every day. Listen carefully, experts have been sounding the alarm repeatedly. Neglecting your leg strength isn't about moving slower. It's about opening the door wide to metabolic chaos, severe cardiovascular crises, and even stroke. Heart disease isn't just diet or genetics. It could start with the muscles you've been ignoring. Your window to take action is rapidly closing. The stakes couldn't be higher. Act now or risk becoming another grim statistic. The choice is yours. Strengthen your legs today or surrender your tomorrow. Transition a true or composite clinical story. Let me share a story about one of my former patients. Let's call her Teresa. At 68, she was still quite active volunteering at a local library, but she'd started experiencing subtle aches in her thighs whenever she climbed stairs. She dismissed it as normal aging until one brisk morning her legs suddenly gave out. The fall resulted in a fractured hip and a grueling rehabilitation that stretched for 6 months, forcing her to realize just how fast seemingly mild leg weakness could escalate. Teresa's situation points to something so common yet dangerously underestimated: the creeping loss of muscle power in older adults, especially in the lower limbs. She initially believed it was just a bit of knee stiffness, but lurking behind that harmless facade was the progressive breakdown of muscle fibers known to the medical community as sarcopenia. By the time she got serious about physical therapy and nutritional support, the damage had advanced to the point that recovery demanded far more resources than a simple trip to the gym. She made it through, but the cost was high months of missed social gatherings, the constant worry she might fall again, and steep medical bills. The most heartbreaking part is that Teresa's ordeal could have been avoided if she'd recognized the warning signs and taken preventative action sooner. Her journey shows just how significant your quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves truly are, like silent sentinels that hold the key to your daily freedom. Pay attention to their signals, or you might face your own chain reaction of setbacks. Paniniman. The science concise, accurate explanation in lay terms. Understanding sarcopenia and the use it or lose it principle. In the medical community, sarcopenia describes the slow but steady loss of muscle mass as we age. Starting in our 30s or 40s, most of us lose small amounts of lean tissue each year. By the time we hit our 60s, that process can accelerate, doubling its speed and leaving our leg muscles especially vulnerable. That's why activities we used to take for granted, like dashing up the stairs, start to feel much more challenging. Your legs bear the brunt of your daily movements. Every time you get out of bed, stand from a chair, or walk across the street, your thigh and calf muscles engage. Over decades, that constant usage means any microscopic damage accumulates unless proactively addressed through the right nutrition and exercise. Think of it like money in a bank account. If you withdraw more than you deposit, eventually you go broke, and your legs can go broke from repeated wear and tear without proper muscle deposits. Why legs are the first to show weakness? It's no accident that the lower limbs display fragility sooner than your arms or core. These appendages, which carry your entire body weight, have the largest muscle groups: quads, hamstrings, glutes, constantly in motion. The more they have to do, the more maintenance they require. You may not notice the initial signs like subtle heaviness after a short walk, but over time, small deficits in muscle mass add up. Before long, the slightest incline can leave you winded, or you find yourself clinging to handrails that you once ignored. This is critical to know because leg weakness puts you squarely on a path toward diminished independence. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), up to 30% of adults over age 65 fall each year, and a significant portion of these accidents are attributed to frail lower limbs. In a 2021 position paper, the WHO highlighted that falls are a leading cause of injury-related disability among older adults, underscoring the urgent need to keep our legs strong. You do not want to be part of that statistic, especially when preventive measures are so within reach. The hidden cardiovascular link. You're probably thinking, isn't heart disease something entirely separate? Yes and no. Research from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health 2019 Journal of Aging and Health indicates that consistently weak lower body strength correlates with poor cardiovascular fitness, likely because inactivity can lead to weight gain, high blood pressure, and even metabolic syndrome. If you're not moving your legs, you're not engaging your largest muscle groups to keep your metabolic and circulatory systems revved up. Over months or years, that inactivity can feed directly into heart or circulation troubles. Remember, your lower body is a major driver of your overall metabolism. When those big muscles aren't put to work and properly fueled, your entire system can suffer from blood sugar regulation to arterial elasticity. It's a chain reaction that can end with a diagnosis. Nobody wants to face a blocked artery, a sudden stroke, or the dreaded phrase heart attack risk. The role of inflammation. There's one more factor we have to address: chronic inflammation, which has been called a slow-burning fire that can torch your muscle tissue from the inside. Over time, high inflammatory levels can interfere with muscle repair, nerve function, and bone density. Dr. Michael Greger, a physician and public health advocate, has stated in his 2020 review published in Nutritional Insights that chronic low-level inflammation is a fundamental driver of age-related diseases, including sarcopenia. That means ignoring subtle signals like mild swelling, joint pain, or unexplained fatigue could be fueling a constant state of muscle breakdown. Keep your inflammation in check, and you stand a better chance of protecting the valuable muscle tissue in your legs. 30. Action plan checklist, follow-up meal targets, etc. Part 1. Evaluate your current leg status. Before we talk solutions, let's figure out exactly where you stand. Take a moment today within the next 24 hours to perform a simple sit-to-stand test. If you can't rise from a chair without pushing off with your arms, or if you wobble and need multiple attempts to stand, that's a glaring red flag. If you sail through it with ease, still pay attention to any subtle difficulty, as that might foreshadow bigger problems later. Next, assess how you handle short bouts of stairs or a quick one-block walk at a moderate pace. Do you feel an unusual burn or tightness in your calves or thighs? Is your heart pounding more than you'd expect for such a minor effort? These self-check methods can give you a baseline. No fancy machines or doctor's appointments needed. Part 2. Simple exercises you can start now. Once you know where you are, it's time to strengthen those muscles. Even if you've never touched a dumbbell, bodyweight moves such as squats, lunges, or heel raises can rebuild power in the lower limbs. Start small, aim for 5 to 10 repetitions of each movement, once or twice a day, increasing gradually. If you're prone to back or knee issues, consult your physician before starting new exercises and consider working with a physical therapist for proper form. Add a walking routine. Even 5 minutes around the block each day can reawaken dormant muscle fibers. Make it fun. Walk with a friend, listen to an audiobook, or schedule a daily mental refresh stroll. A moderate pace not only targets your leg muscles but also boosts circulation, which benefits your entire body. Stretching is critical too. Tight muscles can pull your joints out of alignment, leading to discomfort or potential injury. Simple calf and hamstring stretches after warm-ups or walks can maintain flexibility, ensuring your movements stay fluid. Incorporate a quick stretch session every morning or evening, focusing on the hips, thighs, and calves. Part 3. Nutritional powerhouses for strong legs. No plan to fortify your lower body can ignore nutrition. Muscles need protein to rebuild healthy fats, to reduce inflammation, and certain vitamins and minerals to strengthen bones. You might remember that the original discussion centered on three especially vital food groups: fatty fish, dairy products, and leafy greens. These are the trifecta for combating the dreaded decline of your precious leg strength. Let's dive deeper into each category and see how best to include them in daily meals. Food 1, fatty fish omega-3s to fuel your muscles. If you're a seafood lover, rejoice salmon mackerel. Sardines and similar fish deliver potent doses of omega-3 fats which can help keep inflammation at bay. Studies consistently show that these oils facilitate muscle recovery, making them especially useful if you've started a new exercise routine and your muscles are sore. Even more importantly, the high-quality protein in fatty fish fuels muscle repair and growth. Want a quick meal idea? Bake salmon in foil with a splash of lemon and herbs for 15 minutes. It's nearly foolproof. Or toss canned tuna or sardines onto whole grain crackers with a dab of mustard for an easy snack. If fish is not your thing, consider fish oil supplements or plant-based sources like chia or flax seeds, but always consult your physician to ensure they fit your specific health profile. Food 2, dairy calcium and protein. All-in-one milk yogurt and cheese have long been touted for their bone-building calcium, but don't forget dairy also boasts high-quality protein. Together, they create a formidable defense against muscle wasting and bone deterioration. For instance, a Greek yogurt parfait layered with fresh berries can jumpstart your morning with about 20 grams of protein and a good dose of calcium. If lactose intolerance or dietary preferences keep you away from dairy, modern alternatives like fortified almond milk, soy milk, or oat milk can close the gap. Just be sure to look for brands labeled with added calcium and vitamin D. Consider cottage cheese as well, often overlooked. It's loaded with casein protein, which digests slowly to sustain muscle tissue overnight. And always keep moderation in mind. A little cheese can be good, but too much can raise fat and sodium intake, so balance is key. Dr. Michael Greger emphasizes the importance of adequate calcium intake for older adults, especially those struggling with muscle or bone health. In a 2020 talk, he noted, calcium supports the entire musculoskeletal system, providing stability and strength when combined with regular low-impact exercise. Thus, a cup of milk or a scoop of yogurt might go far in bolstering your legs and your freedom to move. Food 3, leafy greens, nutrient-dense protectors. Spinach, kale, collard greens, and arugula might not be everyone's favorite side dish, but they are packed with vitamins and minerals crucial for leg strength. Magnesium found in these veggies helps prevent muscle cramps. Potassium aids in fluid balance and healthy muscle contractions, reducing the chance of stiffness or spasms. Meanwhile, vitamin K supports bone density by optimizing calcium usage in the body. So if you think these leaves are just for garnish, think again. They're potent allies in your battle against frailty. You can enjoy them raw, steamed, sautéed, or blended into smoothies. For a quick fix, toss a handful of spinach and kale into a fruit smoothie for a refreshing breakfast or snack. Or sauté collard greens with onions and garlic for a savory side that pairs well with fish or chicken. Even a simple salad topped with nuts and light dressing can provide an ample supply of these micronutrients. Leafy greens also come with an abundance of antioxidants that combat oxidative stress, which can speed up the aging process. This makes them doubly valuable. They don't just feed your muscles, they help you recover from daily wear and tear. The synergy of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants can give your legs the daily defense they need. In short, never underestimate the humble spinach leaf. You might be skipping a secret weapon for preserving your mobility. In Mandarin, virality enhancers. The missing spark, fear of early disability. One critical point, the original material underplayed, is the real looming possibility of early disability when you neglect leg health. This isn't just about losing some pep in your step. If you suffer a fracture or severe muscle atrophy, you could suddenly find yourself dependent on others for basic tasks like grocery shopping or walking to the mailbox. Envision the frustration of losing that autonomy and let that motivate you to take immediate steps. Don't assume that you're safe because you're only in your 50s or 60s. Sarcopenia can start decades before you see the visible signs. The younger you are, when you adopt preventive strategies, the less chance your future holds a dreaded scenario of extended rehab or irreversible disability. The time to act is now, no matter your current fitness level or age. Additional case studies. Case study, your reader at 1, Richard 62. A retired accountant dismissed his early morning stiffness as just the price of getting older. Over the years, he avoided exercise thinking it would aggravate his knees. During a routine checkup, doctors discovered advanced sarcopenia and borderline osteopenia, indicating he was at high risk for fractures. 1 month later, he stumbled while descending his porch step. His recovery took a full year, derailing his retirement dreams of traveling with his wife. Case study number 2, Janet, 54. A school librarian was caught by surprise after a minor slip on a wet floor left her with a torn meniscus. An MRI revealed weaker thigh and calf muscles than expected for someone her age. Though she was younger than many who face such issues, her sedentary lifestyle, desk-bound job, and poor nutrition accelerated muscle wasting. Physical therapists recommended moderate exercise and a diet rich in protein, calcium, and leafy greens. Within 6 months, she recovered and reported feeling stronger than she had in a decade. Both Richard and Janet came face to face with the ramifications of ignoring leg health. Their experiences show that compromised lower limbs can spring nasty surprises at any stage of adulthood. If this could happen to a relatively young librarian or a newly retired accountant, it could happen to any of us. Their determination to rebuild muscle and adopt a healthier lifestyle proves that there is a path forward if you take it soon enough. The 24-hour challenge and 7-day checklist, ready to start making tangible changes. First up is your 24-hour challenge. Commit to completing at least one session of light bodyweight exercises, like 10 squats, 10 heel raises, and a quick walk around your block, and incorporate one of the 3 power foods, fatty fish, dairy, or leafy greens, into at least 2 of your daily meals. Track how you feel. Are your legs tired, shaky, or surprisingly invigorated? Use that feedback to adjust your approach on day 2 and beyond. Next is a 7-day checklist to bolster your routine. Each day, do the following. 1. Perform 2 sets of bodyweight exercises, squats, lunges, or calf raises. 2. Consume at least 1 serving of fatty fish or fish oil supplement, alternating with plant-based omega-3 sources if needed. 3. Include 2 servings of dairy or a fortified dairy alternative, plus a handful of leafy greens. Throughout those 7 days, note any changes in your energy balance and mood. Some individuals might feel less stiff by day 3 or 4. Others might notice subtle improvements in posture or less joint discomfort. At the end of the week, reevaluate and decide whether you'll continue or modify your plan. For the more ambitious, you can layer on optional elements. Short sessions of resistance band training, advanced mobility drills, or a 15-minute walk first thing in the morning. The key is consistency. Don't expect overnight miracles, but do expect meaningful progress if you stick to these daily tasks. Remember to consult your physician for personalized guidance, especially if you have any pre-existing condition. E. Call to comment. Now let me hear from you. Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, "I feel it," if you relate. "I'm safe," if not, and add a question for the doctor. Your input can spark a valuable conversation. Chances are others share your concerns, your doubts, and your victories. By participating, you're also taking the first step toward accountability. Credibility and trust expert, quotes and data. We've already mentioned a statement from the World Health Organization and some crucial findings from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. Let's add another voice to the discussion. A 2022 paper in the Journal of Geriatric Medicine concluded that strengthening lower limbs through diet and exercise interventions has one of the most direct impacts on fall prevention and improved longevity. This aligns with Dr. Michael Greger's emphasis on the interplay between nutrition and muscle maintenance. Clearly, these aren't isolated opinions, but rather consistent findings across multiple international health bodies and journals. Furthermore, a systematic review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition 2020 found that older adults with higher dietary intake of protein and essential fatty acids exhibited slower rates of muscle decline. The authors recommended at least 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal spread throughout the day. This means you may want to pay particular attention to what's on your breakfast, lunch, and dinner plates. The synergy of these studies underscores that inactivity plus poor nutrition equals a double threat to your leg vitality. Adopting these recognized nutritional strategies in conjunction with incremental physical activity forms a robust solution that experts stand behind. They're not fad diets or fleeting trends. They're evidence-backed approaches designed to preserve your mobility. That's not just speculation, it's science, decades in the making. And if you ever feel stuck, remember that professional dietitians and physical therapists are out there to tailor a plan specifically for your needs. Point. Deepening your understanding. Additional insights, inflammation, and muscle pain. Inflammation doesn't always manifest with dramatic swelling or redness. Sometimes it's just a nagging soreness in your knees or hips that you chalk up to overdoing it. By regularly including anti-inflammatory foods like salmon walnuts, chia seeds, and avoiding high-sugar, heavily processed meals, you can minimize that slow burn of chronic inflammation. If you ignore it, the toxins circulating in your bloodstream can degrade cartilage and muscle tissue, leading to more pronounced weakness over time. Aim to combine your fatty fish and leafy greens for a double dose of protective nutrients. A salmon salad with spinach or kale drizzled with olive oil offers a powerful punch of omega-3s, vitamin K, and antioxidants. This synergy can help keep your joints lubricated, your muscles well-fed, and your risk of degenerative diseases in check. Small dietary swaps repeated consistently create substantial results for your leg health. The role of vitamin D and sunshine. We'd be remiss not to mention vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. It helps your body absorb calcium for stronger bones, and it's also involved in muscle function. Without enough vitamin D, your muscles may feel sluggish, and your bones can become more prone to fractures. Spend a few minutes in natural sunlight daily with adequate skin protection, and consider vitamin D supplementation, especially if you live in regions with limited sun exposure. Check with your physician to test your vitamin D levels before starting any supplement. Oversupplementing can have adverse effects, so it's essential to find the right balance. But when done correctly, sustaining proper vitamin D levels is yet another pillar supporting robust leg power. Beyond diet, sleep, and stress management, muscle recovery doesn't happen only in the gym or at the dinner table. It also happens during sleep. Chronic stress and poor rest can pump out cortisol, a hormone that can erode muscle and promote fat storage. Ensuring 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep gives your body the chance to repair small tears in muscle fibers so you can wake up stronger each day. Managing stress through mindfulness, hobbies, or social interactions can curb harmful cortisol surges, creating a more favorable environment for muscle maintenance. If you're prone to anxiety, try integrating a short relaxation routine before bedtime, such as deep breathing exercises or light stretching. This can improve sleep quality, lower cortisol levels, and bolster muscle recovery. Over time, these seemingly small changes add up. Combined with a nutrient-dense diet and consistent exercise, they form the trifecta for keeping your legs resilient. In my mind, additional action steps, more detailed. 1. Schedule a monthly check-in. Mark your calendar to reassess your sit-to-stand performance, your daily walks, and your dietary habits. 2. Use a fitness tracker or journal. Record your steps, water intake, or how many servings of leafy greens you consume. 3. Partner up. Find a buddy, a neighbor, friend, or spouse who's equally motivated. Accountability increases your chance of long-term success. 4. Gradual intensity increase. As you get stronger, ramp up the difficulty. Add light weights or resistance bands. 5. Meal planning. Designate one day each week to plan or prep meals. This helps ensure you have healthy options like salmon fillets or yogurt, ready, reducing the temptation for unhealthy alternatives. 6. Hydration. Don't underestimate the role of water in muscle function. Inadequate fluid intake can increase the risk of cramps and fatigue. 7. Expert consultations. Beyond your primary care doctor, consider occasional check-ins with a nutritionist or physical therapist for personalized guidance. They can identify muscle imbalances or dietary gaps you might overlook. Ethical reminder. None of this content is meant to suggest you should abandon medications or standard medical advice. If you're dealing with specific conditions like diabetes, osteoporosis, or advanced arthritis, always consult your physician before implementing major dietary or workout changes. What we're discussing is supplemental and preventive. Professional guidance remains the gold standard for personalized care. We're raising awareness, not giving you a free pass to self-diagnose or self-medicate. Healthcare is nuanced. While these strategies offer broad benefits, your situation might require specialized interventions. When in doubt, reach out to a credentialed healthcare provider. Summary before the conclusion. Your legs are like the foundation of a house. When they're unstable, everything else suffers. The surprising twist is how deeply leg strength ties into overall health, including heart and bone stability. Sarcopenia is more than a fancy term. It's a silent condition waiting to strip you of independence if you ignore it. The biggest takeaway: you have the power to fight back with proper diet, rich in protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients, consistent exercise, sufficient rest, and a watchful eye on inflammation. Fatty fish, dairy, or fortified dairy alternatives and leafy greens collectively form the nutritional trifecta that can help slow, stop, or even reverse the decline. Exercise brings fresh blood flow, oxygen, and mechanical signals that tell your muscles they're needed. Add in mindful rest and stress management, and you've got a robust framework for protecting your lower limbs. Don't wait until you're facing a crisis. Start incorporating these changes today. Conclusion: here are 3 fast points to drive home. One leg weakness is the early warning sign. It signals deeper issues from decreased bone density to possible heart complications. 2, 3 key food groups: fatty fish for omega-3s, dairy for protein, and calcium and leafy greens for potassium, magnesium. Vitamin K are your best nutritional allies. 3, regular movement is non-negotiable. Even simple exercises and short daily walks can slow sarcopenia and enhance muscle mass. These principles, when practiced consistently, can keep you off that slippery slope toward frailty and unwanted hospital stays. If you found these insights valuable, please like, subscribe, and share this video with those you care about. Your friends, siblings, or neighbors might be on the brink of a disabling accident without even realizing it. By spreading this message, you become a vital link in preventing needless falls and shattered independence. Let's create a community committed to knowledge prevention and robust vitality. Let's continue the conversation. What's one obstacle that's kept you from strengthening your legs, and how do you plan to overcome it? Share your stories and solutions below so we can all learn from one another. Remember, every comment might be the spark someone else needs to finally take charge of their leg health.